Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, voted #1 show 3 weeks in a row from people who want to get their inhalers back. On today's show, we have Ann Howard Hill, Brandon Dewease, and Michelle Stokely. You're going to learn a lot, so stay tuned.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Michelle Stokely. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Now, I just have to say, how long have you worked here at MCC?
Since '09.
Since '09. So we've got, what, 11, 12, 13 years? About 12 or 13 years. Okay. And this is the culmination of my time here at MCC, is getting Michelle Stokely on this show. Okay? First off, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, but you teach a class called computer applications.
Right.
Okay, and I hear nothing but great things about the class.
Good.
I hear nothing but great things about you.
Okay, good.
And I'm also going to say that at the moment, she is across the hall from the Success Center, and every time, without fail, that we need help with a computer issue, she comes over and she will sit with a student, and you have sat for literally hours helping. And you just don't know how much I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But I know it's part of that we're all in this together, I think.
Yes.
But what brought you to teaching computer applications? Because you were just telling me beforehand that you had been in banking for a while. Do you ever miss it?
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, so now my undergrad was business administration and computers. I have loved computers all of my life. When I was in 4th grade, before you had computers, and we had this big white computer, and I had it set in basic programming where it would say, "Hello, Michelle," when it came on. So I just always loved computers.
Okay. And so
math,
after you finished working in banking, and you said you were there how long? 11 years?
11,
Okay, and then you decided or fate brought you here.
Go ahead and get my master's.
And so you worked on your master's, and you came here, and you've been teaching ever since. But why do you think computer applications is a good class for students to take?
Well, it's a good class because it teaches you a lot of the basics and stuff. So everybody needs computers, because computers is everywhere. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, so it's got, like in Word, we teach how to do a research paper. And like it actually sets up the works cited page for you if you program it right and stuff. And then PowerPoint, all these teachers require PowerPoint sometimes. And
Y'all do Excel? Y'all do Excel too?
We do Excel and we do Access.
Okay. Now my niece actually took your class, and she did something, and she didn't do well on it. And I'm not going to call her by name, but you know who you are.
And I'm going to ask after this.
But you went back and you say, and I tell students this all the time. She has the directions. If you follow what she says, and people who try to cut corners, and people who try to, but if you follow exactly what you say, you're going to get there. And we'll also say that it is not a hard class. And it is not meant to be a hard class.
That's right.
And I would say the same thing about my study skills
Absolutely.
class. It's not meant to be a hard class, but we're teaching you how to do this.
That's right. I purposely try to make my course be one of the easiest courses, because there's some subjects that just cannot be easy. Chemistry, biology, just cannot. So
Chemistry, biology, computer application.
So when you take 4 hard ones, let mine be an easy class.
Sure.
So I do, and I give so much grace in the class. I give bonus points every week, and you get 3 attempts to do all the assignments. And if you want more, email me. I'll reset the attempts. I mean, like, I'm just begging you to make a A.
Well, I do the same thing. And the thing is, now, chemistry, calculus, these are inherently hard subjects, difficult subjects for some people. But, with computer applications, with study skills, I could make it hard.
Right.
You could
I
make it
could.
hard. You could make it where no one passed. But that's not the purpose of why we're here or why you're here. You know, we're here to try to help the student as much as we can.
Right.
And if you get the information, you know, sometimes you might have to do it a couple of times, but you're going to get there.
That's right. I was taught early on that from one of my bosses early on, and she said the students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So it matters, it really does. It matters to me more that they know how much I love them than I care about learning in office.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
Because you can make it in life, you know, if you're not perfect in office, but you do really well if you. So a lot of my students do good because they just know that I love them.
And they start out, and as I said, and I think they do this on purpose with us, is they'll put, especially the kind of students who are a little bit nervous coming in. They're nervous returning to school, and they're nervous. I know they'll put them in your class because they know how much you care. They know how much you do, you know, that your heart is in this. And now you have been, and we're talking about the things you've learned. Do you try to model yourself, or when you first started, did you try to model yourself after a particular teacher that you remembered or a person that you remembered in the past?
Well, not necessarily model myself after one, but there are two teachers. One in my high school, which was Miss Deborah Herring from Quitman, Mississippi.
Okay, I know her, yes.
She was my math teacher. I loved math because of her. And then one of my English teachers at my computer teachers at University of West Alabama, Miss Underwood. Those are the two people, because I didn't like school. I hated it and I struggled. And so I worked for those two ladies, and that's why I try to be that person to my students who struggle like me.
Did you ever back then, would you ever have thought you would be a teacher?
Nope. And I would love to go back and tell them.
Well, sometimes you never know exactly where you're going to end up, because I remember fighting it forever and a day, and it ended up you just needed to be employed.
Exactly.
But then you find out where you really should be, and I think that's part of
Absolutely.
it. Now you say you've been here about 12 years, okay, and there's no plan to leave anytime soon.
Oh no! I tell them they're going to have to pry my door key out of my hand.
You're going to be like me. I'm going to have a walker, going to my class,
And they're still
trying to
gonna
get
love us.
there. I hope so. I hope so. But with computers and the changes you've seen in just the last few years, what do you think are some of the biggest changes that you've seen come about? And I know we had the big COVID, and that was a massive change. We had to rethink a lot of things. But what have you seen lately that's changed that you're like, that's pretty interesting? Have you seen anything lately?
I don't know necessarily that anything that I've seen, but I do know that your computer degrees, they go out the window fast. Like I didn't get through my master's from my undergrad. I was probably 7 years out before I started my master's, and they're both in the exact same degree. Both of them are computer programming. My concentration in my business. So I was at a master level computer programming courses that I'd never seen before. So I mean
So it gets out of date very quickly. Okay.
Yes, but even like with Office, you know, we went from a whole completely different bar, and then it went back to the ribbon, and it was something I had to relearn it again. You know.
And there was a lot of cussing on my part when I was trying to relearn that. I'm just going to tell you. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on the show today. And I hope it doesn't take me a million years to get you back on.
You probably will.
But thank you so much. And just
Well, I
thank
have
you.
one other thing to
Yes,
say.
yes.
My shirt, y'all, came from the bookstore for $24. It's super cute. They have a lot of MCC, comfort colors, which are really good. For $15 to $20, y'all need to go check them out. That's why I wore it today, so I
you.
could advertise for our bookstore.
Thank you very much. Okay, I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you being on, though.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here with Mr. Brandon Dewease. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Lowell. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, I hesitate to ask this next question because it changes on me, but what is your official title?
I'm the Associate Dean of Student Engagement. Yeah, it does change.
It does change, and wonderfully so, but Associate Dean of Student Engagement, which means what exactly do you get to do?
We're not sure. So I manage what we do in recruiting, housing, and student activities. Now we have fantastic people that are directors and coordinators in all of those roles. I'm sort of at 30,000 feet on those issues.
Okay.
If it touches the life cycle of a student from when we are recruiting you until you show up at campus, maybe you live here, you enjoy your time here, what are you plugged in? What are you doing for fun? Do you come visit the Quave? Are you involved in blood drives? Whatever that is in the life cycle of a student.
Which was just yesterday, right?
Right, absolutely. And I help with all of that stuff.
Okay, did you ever think when you came to Meridian Community College that you would end up?
No, I did not. I did not.
You started as, what did you start
Recruiting.
at? You started as a recruit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you've come this
That's
far,
right.
so when
That's
will
right.
you be president of the college?
Oh my goodness, right?
Dr. Hubner.
No, that's not the direction this
No.
is headed. Absolutely
Watch
not.
out.
Yeah, I got you.
Now, you are here today because we have something coming up on campus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it is our Fall Fest.
That's right.
Okay, so when is it and what
Sure.
is it?
All right. Fall Fest is an event that we do, drum roll, in the fall each year.
Look at you.
And this is an opportunity for our student organizations, clubs, classes. I have some programs that just want some publicity for their program, or they're trying to make a little bit of money for something that they want to do as a group. Fall Fest is an opportunity. Think county fair in the middle of the day without rides and less corn dogs. Okay,
there you go.
right? So we set up
Good
a space.
plug there.
Appreciate that, right? We set up a space behind the Quave, and we have all these tents, and it's this sea of green, and you can just walk through. The student population, teachers, staff, just walk through, and some groups will be selling nachos, and some groups are selling hamburgers, some groups are selling pizza.
Any diet goes out the window.
Out the window.
Fall Fest.
But there
Okay.
are loaded teas. We have one group that's going to be selling loaded teas. So, you know, if you're on a diet, I think the market there is that you can drink those. I don't know.
Okay. Now, when is it again?
It is going to be Tuesday, September 20th,
Tuesday, September 20th. So.
from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
So we're trying to catch the lunchtime rush.
Yes, and hopefully you will catch. Now, there's always usually a lot of really good music played.
Yes, sir.
Y'all always have some really good music,
Yes,
but there's
sir.
not going to be any kind of rides or anything this time.
No rides, no mechanical bull.
Darn it.
We did away with all. There was never a mechanical bull.
No, there
but
wasn't.
there certainly
a
won't
bouncy
be this
house.
year. There was a bouncy house one year.
Okay.
It is genuinely what we're trying to do from the student activities perspective. We want to give students opportunities to be engaged.
Okay.
From the club perspective, maybe they're trying to make a few dollars to go to a conference at the end of the year, or they want to purchase some item for all of their students who are in the club to have, I don't know, to demonstrate their membership. So there are different reasons that various groups are involved. From our perspective, we just want our student population to have something positive and fun to get involved with.
And it's very positive, very fun, and a lot of students typically go to it.
Absolutely.
Two things that have made lots of money in the past, I'm just going to throw them out there.
Okay.
One was throw a pie at a teacher.
Absolutely.
And who knew I had so many students who thoroughly enjoyed
Yeah.
throwing a pie at me. And the second was, what is that where you throw the ball and it causes someone to fall into the water?
A dunk booth.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a dunk booth, and
that's
I did
awesome.
that. And let me just say, I went into some really suspect water
Can
a
imagine.
few times.
I can imagine.
A few times, but I also understand it made a good bit of money.
Well, that's great.
Now, how can you get students engaged? Now, that's been something that we've talked about forever and a day.
Sure.
How can you get the students engaged more?
for sure. I think there are multiple components in answering that question. Number one, you have to do things that students want to do.
There you go.
Right, and sometimes, you know, you and I were talking about the lighting in the studio, which is fantastic for, you know, making me look younger.
There you go.
But if I find myself in my agedness, if I find myself too far removed from the student population, I might not understand what they think is fun. So I try to stay plugged into organizations, students in particular that visit our Quave Student Life Center. I try to have those conversations and ask, what do you guys think would be a good time? So we try to plan events that they think are fun, then letting them know about it. What is the way that you most effectively and efficiently let students know about an event? Well, what we find is digital advertising, direct-to-consumer text message ads, and social media. Right? Social media is king. If we want to get a message out, we can email them. That's sort of a shot in the dark.
Sure.
So do what they want to do, make sure they know about it. That's our plan.
Do you ever find with, as far as emails or text messages that we might actually be over bombarding, especially with the emails?
I think you're right.
You know,
I
that
think
at
you're
some
right.
point you just turn it, you're like, no, I don't.
That's right.
And I'm also going to say, if you're aged, I'm ancient.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
But I've noticed that and it's not just with getting students engaged, but it's also when you're looking at how students study.
Sure.
How they absorb information.
Yes,
It
sir.
has it's changed so radically, definitely radically within my time.
Absolutely.
You know, but sometimes you just have to stand back. I try to stand back and say, okay, what
Yes,
are
sir.
you doing, and is that working?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure that's probably the same philosophy y'all use.
It is. It is.
And we also were going to announce our date for the My College Cares.
Absolutely.
And so when will My College Cares take place this year?
Yes, sir. Tuesday, October the 18th.
Okay.
That is going to be My College Cares. I'm working with a committee right now that is organizing all of the volunteer sites. Our MCC faculty and student body should, in the next couple of weeks, you should start seeing text messages or social media advertisement that we're going to give them the opportunity to sign up as team captains for our faculty and staff, or to go and volunteer in these various places. Tuesday, October the 18th. If any of our viewers are watching right now and they wanted to be a volunteer site, so you needed 10 people to come help with a job, man,
How do they get in touch with you?
Can
All
I
right.
run my phone number
Yes,
right
please,
quick?
please.
All right. So my office number here at the community college is 601-481-1340. You could email me at bdewease, that's DEWEASE, at meridiancc.edu. We would love to bring on more sites for My College Cares.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on today, and I do want to have you on again to talk about My College Cares a little bit more.
In more depth, yes, sir.
Yes, but I appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
And we are here with Miss Ann Howard Hill. How are you doing? I cut off the D on your name, so I had to redo it.
That's okay.
How is everything?
Everything's really good. Having a great semester so far.
Good. Now your official title is what?
I am the program coordinator for culinary arts as well as the chef instructor.
Okay. Oh my. Oh
A
my.
mouthful.
Yes, it is a mouthful. But how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this. I'm in my 5th year of teaching.
Okay, and everything's still going great?
Still loving it. Still
Good.
got a great program and a nice new facility, so we're happy.
It is a beautiful facility
It is.
too. Now so the culinary arts program, how many new students do you accept each semester?
Great question. We take 15 new students both in the fall and spring.
Okay.
We have recently in the past year started taking a spring enrollment for that. And it gives students an opportunity to jump ahead, get some of their courses out of the way, and then roll into their lab coursework in the fall.
Do students have, are there any prereqs that students have that they have to take before they can get into your program?
As far as courses go, no. We ask that all of our students either have completed the ACT or the Accuplacer test, and then obviously apply to the college. As you progress through the program, there are certain prerequisites for certain culinary courses, but we teach in a block setting, so you follow our track and you're fully prepared for the following semesters.
Now you say but I'm assuming you have to have finished high school.
You
have
do.
to have graduated high school, or can you
Yes
come
and
in?
no. So you either have to be enrolled in some sort of adult education program like we have here on campus through our GED program.
Okay.
And our students that come into our program through that are a part of a My Best program. So you can be working on your adult equivalency to your high school diploma and be enrolled in culinary arts and earning credit towards your degree at the same time. And then those that have done the traditional route of high school and have graduated and received a diploma can come into our program as well. So lots of good options.
Now, how long have you been in the My Best program?
We are in our third semester with My Best students.
Okay, excellent.
And they've been really successful, so we're happy to be a part of that program.
Now, the culinary arts program itself, do you have any certifications that people get while they're in the culinary arts?
We do. So if you complete the full program, including the general education courses, which is at the very end, you get the AAS, so the Associates of Applied Science and Culinary Arts. But at 30 and 45 hours, you can get a certificate. So after you complete 30 hours, you get a technical certificate, and after you complete the 45, you get a career certificate. So we award those to students as they progress, and some students just don't want to take the gen ed, and that is okay. So they opt out of that fourth and final semester and end with a career certificate, which is recognized within our state and community.
Well, so when someone completes the culinary arts program, what kind of jobs are available for them?
Gosh, people ask that question all the time and are very surprised by the answer because there are so many options. I mean, obviously, a caterer, running a restaurant, owning your own restaurant, being a chef, but we think about here in Meridian, we're a huge medical hub. We have the opportunity for different culinary directors, everything from hospitals like Morrison's Cafeteria at Anderson's, all the way to dining director of Aldersgate, as well as an executive chef. And then there are research and development type jobs for big companies like Nabisco or Keebler or all the box brands that you buy at the grocery store, and so many others. And then teaching too.
I keep waiting to get, call from someone who wants me to be a taster.
Right, me too. Get paid to taste.
Yeah, that'd be great. But
I kind of do.
Yeah, but you said that you part of it is helping people who want to open up their own restaurants. So do you do the business side of it too?
100%. So not only are you learning the skill set and the technical application of that skill, we are teaching you the management and the business operations, everything from costing and the financial side to how to adequately run your business as far as staff management and organization goes. And we even have a class called Menu Planning and Facilities Design, where students do a project where they start with the framework and design their own restaurant from the ground up, including the menu and the equipment and the pricing. So it's a great hands-on experience of what it's really like to dive off into being a business owner.
So if someone, and I know so many people will say stuff like, oh, you're a great cook, you should open up your own restaurant. But that's not the whole thing
It's
there.
not.
And I know so many who are great cooks and whose food is absolutely wonderful, but after 4 or 6 months they have to close down because they didn't know the business
It is
side
an
of it.
unfortunate side of things, because just because you're a great chef doesn't mean you're a great business person. So knowing how to operate a business, and really more so how to troubleshoot when things go wrong, because that's the reality of business. You've got to be able to take what comes at you, turn it into something productive so that you can remain successful. So I feel like our program really prepares you on both the business as well as the skill set side of culinary arts.
What was the path that got you into culinary arts?
Well,
Did you go directly into it?
I did not. I'm
Okay.
a Mississippi Delta Southern girl whose mom always was throwing a party. So as young as I can remember, I was helping her do different things around the house, setting up in the kitchen, grandmothers who always cooked. But I actually studied public relations at Mississippi State and journalism, and realized I was not going to be a wonderful award-winning writer, and decided that after I finished that I wanted to go to culinary school. So kind of morphed into that as I was trying to figure out as a young college student what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
And you have not been upset or over the course your life has taken. You're thoroughly enjoying it.
I really do enjoy my job. I get to share my passion with others. I get to see young students find their dream and their passion, and I get to play a part in planting a seed and helping them capture that. So it's a really rewarding job.
Well, if a student finishes an AAS degree in culinary arts here, can they go further
They can.
in their education?
So there's lots of options. You can go and get a bachelor's degree in culinary arts, and then there are several specific like baking and pastry art certifications and different things all over the United States and the world where you can go and fine-tune, much like a doctor would in a certain area that they wanted to practice.
Okay. Now, if a student is, or someone is sitting at home and they're like, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know, what kind of habits, what kind of things might make them the perfect candidate for culinary arts?
That's an excellent question. Someone who is teachable.
Okay.
I can do a lot with someone who wants to learn and is eager, and I tell my students every day, show up and give me your best that day. Even if it's not your best overall, give me your best that day and I can work with you. So being organized, showing up, putting in the work, because literally in many things, not just culinary arts, you get out of it what you put into it.
That's true.
And being teachable and coachable is huge.
I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to have you on again.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
Our students have been out and about. They are taping, they are doing everything, and be very careful, they will run over your dog.
Hey, there's someone new y'all should meet. Miss Jeanette Howell in the Orion Hall for Student Services.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Howell. I am the CTE Support Services Coordinator. I work with students who are wanting accommodations, so I am like their first stop when they start requesting that. Here at the college level, you have to self-identify if you would like accommodations. So the process would be you would come in, I would give you one of our packets, and you fill that out just with general information, what you're requesting. Then we would look at that, and you would bring in your documentation for that, what is required for those accommodations.
In Proctors, Miss Bethany Bradford will surely help you.
As the Accessibility Services Proctor, my job is to coordinate and administer all tests for students who receive testing accommodations through our Accessibility Services office. And these testing accommodations are generally area or extended test time, can come down here to take their tests, and they'll be in a room by themselves, which minimizes any distractions that they may face in the classroom and allows them to complete their tests.
There's a lot of stuff you gotta learn from MCC, and my name is Taryn Dimas with your report.
On behalf of executive producers Tanisha Clark and Matt Milner, media specialist Josh Taylor, and student producer Tayshawn Gilbert, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next week.